get pissed off, angry, sad, and start crying to manifest. This is counterintuitive advice, and it's advice I've never heard in this field. I hear all the time, over and over again, about how you need to maintain a positive vibe and have, you know, a great look on things and keep a high vibration. And that can be good advice. But see, this becomes bad advice when you're suppressing real emotions that you have and you're demonizing your anger and your sadness. And this will make you inauthentic, but it'll also take you out of alignment because then you're just playing a persona. You're not really being true to yourself when you're acting this way. So, yeah, stay positive when you can. And you can be optimistic and angry at the same time. Does that make sense? Like, I can be pissed off, but still optimistic that it'll all work out. But in the moment, I'm mad. And see, that anger can actually transmute into something beautiful or into action, but not when I suppress it, not when I think that anger is bad. Or then if I think anger is bad, then I'm doing something to suppress the anger, right? Or suppress the sadness. And with this being said, I need you guys to hear the nuance of what I'm saying, right? It's a paradox like everything else. I don't think you should be mad and sad all day long every day and be a victim. That's not what I'm saying. But contrary to a lot of advice that I hear, I also don't think that you should be just this ray of sunshine, positivity 100% of the time because everything has a purpose. Our anger has a purpose, our sadness has a purpose, right? And as long as it doesn't get taken out of proportion, it's important to feel those things. And another thing is that naturally, because no one's perfect, in those moments when you get sad, you get angry, if you have the belief that you can't manifest like that, then you're going to feel those things and you're going to have the subconscious belief that you're ruining your manifestations. But see, manifestation doesn't really care how you feel, right? Doesn't really even care what you think, and it doesn't care if you're being good or nice or positive. Think of how many people that you may consider bad people, angry people, or bitter people that manifest everything that they want because they just assume that they will. It has nothing to do with these emotions. See? So you suppress yourself in these moments. Now you have an issue because you're disconnected with a part of yourself that is authentic, that really knows what it wants. But then you create a spiritual ego. You create a spiritual ego around being this little ray of sunshine. And if something doesn't line up with that, you won't entertain it long enough to integrate it. And this is where shadow work is important. But how are you going to do shadow work if you won't allow yourself to actually get in tune and in touch with your shadow, with the subconscious? And the more you play around with the subconscious, you're bound to pull up emotions. But if you suppress them, suppression is just never the answer, guys. When you're trying to awaken, when you're trying to connect to your highest self, when you're trying to integrate all aspects of yourself, that means all aspects, especially the ones that you don't like on the surface. They need to be understood, and they can't be understood by being like, swept under the rug. So, am I suggesting that you be angry and sad all the time? No, but I'm suggesting that, especially if you're a person who's more of like a people pleaser, if you're a person who suppresses their emotions for other people, then yeah, I want you to get angry. Yeah, I want you to be sad. I want you to get in tune with every single emotion that you have because only then can you achieve a place where genuinely you are vibing all the time. You are just feeling good. But my point that I'm making is you don't actually need to be at that ideal, that pinnacle place that you imagine to manifest what you want. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be there to start manifesting, to already recognize that you can manifest and have everything that you want now, but you put on an act. So if you're mad or sad, or if you're not, dig into those emotions. Because if you're creating a persona that is inauthentic, that's just happy, but it's inauthentic, then you might even manifest that. But on some level, you won't really feel the fulfillment that you want. Because if there's something part of you that's deep, that's angry, that thing has a purpose. Like, there are valid reasons for getting angry. Um, but again, as long as you don't let it ruin everything for you. Getting in tune with your shadow, in tune with everything that you repress is what's needed. Um, oh God, guys, it's really simple. It's really simple when you believe it's simple. We make it more complicated than it needs to be. We also think it needs to look a certain way. That's the problem with, you know, social media and so many teachers and stuff. Like, they make you believe and they show you that it has to look this way. See, I'm not telling you that your spiritual journey, that your manifestation journey, that your subconscious reprogramming journey needs to look exactly the way that it looks for me, because it doesn't. Nor will it, nor should it. It can only look the way that it looks for you. But see, monkey do. We look at the internet, we look at people that we think have what we want, and then in a lot of ways, the best way to create that is to imitate that on some level. But that usually fails, right? Things only look the same on the surface, but they're never the same. Each one of our minds is a maze that we need to navigate, and none of the mazes look the same. So it's like, I could have navigated my maze. I could, manifest my dream life. I could have the relationships I want and the business I want and, the artistic expression that I desire and the freedom that I want. I could have figured it all out, I could break out of all of the games that I play against myself to some level. um, you could have it all perfect. Let's hypothetically, I could have it all mapped out for you, but that map for you won't necessarily work, right? Because it's always going to be different, you know. And I think that a lot of times a great coach, great mentor, isn't there to tell you exactly how it is for them. It's for them to see the similarities, but help you figure it out in your own way, which is the only real way that it happens. But that can only happen when you allow yourself to be 100% authentic, not when you're attempting to come off as or pretend to be this idealized version of yourself. See, your highest self is not as simple as being like, okay, well, and at first it's great to imagine what you imagine as your highest self, right? That image is it's like a North Star, right? Awesome. Create that, have that for yourself, and push yourself towards that vision for yourself. But at the same time, understand that that vision isn't necessarily the same as what your actual higher self is. And really, becoming your higher self is more about unlearning all the conditioning and the programming that was put on you to suppress you, to make you more docile, than it is learning new stuff. But unlearning is even harder than learning. And, learning methods and learning ways to, reprogram your subconscious and get in touch with that. There's an art to that. And it takes time. It takes also a conscious effort to do so, because this isn't something that people teach, because it's meta. It goes beyond the mind. This is why also it ties into me with spirituality. And it must. It has to tie into spirituality, because it comes into a question of identity. And so when you're questioning your identity, you're getting into a place that's, philosophical, you could say. And to me, philosophy and spirituality are one and the same thing, right? The difference between spirituality and religion is, in spirituality, you're supposed to ask, you're supposed to ponder, you're supposed to go in deeper and ask these questions. As you do that, more and more answers will be revealed to you. But that's the process. It is a spiritual thing. Who are you? What is this? The more you question, the more abstract it becomes. And see, people don't see the value in this because you can't unless you actually do the work. But the more you do the work, the more abstract it becomes. There's challenges that come with that. It can be difficult to stay grounded sometimes. But what you realize is that the less and less that's there, then the more freedom that you have to create the identity that you want, the identity who you want to be. But to do that, you got to accept yourself totally right now and see yourself as the observer of the ego, as the observer of your human experience, which means that even if the human you're experiencing is angry, is sad, is however they're feeling in that moment, it doesn't matter because you're the observer. You're just observing that. That's not even you. So you disidentify with it. Now you have the power to transform. And that's why you'll always manifest. Because what you are is beyond the mind. It's beyond what you express. It's beyond your thought. It's beyond your emotion. So whatever happens on the surface level of the ego, you're still going to manifest. You can't mess up your own manifestations, which is a misconception that a lot of people have. Like, oh, if I think this way, oh, I'm going to mess it up. Oh, I was negative. Oh, I thought the opposite thing. And now I'm working against myself. It's like, you only are working against yourself because you believe you are. But if you realize, if you have the belief and you create the belief and you nurture the belief that there's no way I can mess up my manifestations. Like, there's just not actually possible to do. Like they say, like, what's meant for you can't miss you type of thing. It's like, no matter what I think, no matter how I feel, like what I'm looking to manifest, what I want to manifest, what my soul and my core identity, what consciousness is manifesting and creating through me, my mind cannot mess that up. See? And so this is what I mean about manifesting with anger, with sadness, with the quote unquote negative emotions, because none of them are. We need to learn to love ourselves through it all, and especially love all those things that we consider to be shadows, because the more that we repress those shadows, the more they act out, the more they fight us for control, and then they act out in twisted and perverse ways, right? It's better to just accept it, sit with it, feel it, and have no fear. See, the problem is the fear that comes with allowing all that anger and sadness and repression to come out, all those shadows, because we're taught to do that. And this can be challenging. I'm saying it like it's really easy, but this is very paradoxical. And that's where help on an outside, having a mirror for you to reflect against, is really good and really powerful. So if any of you guys ever want to work with me one-on-one as a mirror to help you work through this shadow work, awesome, hit me up and I'll leave my website in the description. But until next time, my friends, stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed, and stay connected. And know that it's all working out for you. And I will assume it for you, my friends. Peace out, guys.